Disney Treasure, the newest ship in the Disney Cruise Line fleet. We are here for a 7-night sailing, so be sure to check out our entire Disney Treasure playlist where you can see all of our daily videos, our room tour video, as well as this video, the full and complete ship tour. We are going to take you around and show you every public venue on board this vessel. We're going to start down at the bottom and work our way up deck by deck. So let's go ahead and get it started. Our tour of the Disney Treasure begins right now. All right, we begin our tour as always down at the bottom here on deck 1 of the Disney Treasure. Only a couple things to see here, well really only one thing to see. The other things to note are the tender lobbies when you're coming in and out of port that you're stopped at. But here we are at deck 1 forward, we turn to the port side and we see the sign that says Health Center this way, and then you just follow it back through these doors until you get to that privacy glass door there. And that is the entrance to the health center. So they have the hours of operation posted right there. If you need the health center, deck 1 forward on the port side. But that's the only thing to see here on deck 1. So we're gonna go ahead and head up to deck 2. All right, up to deck 2 now. And this is gonna be kind of known as the kids deck because other than staterooms, really the only thing to see here is the kids club. Before we get to that, I wanna point out here off the forward lobby, you do have an accessible entrance to the Walt Disney Theater, which is the main stage show theater on board. So you turn this way and then go right, and this would be the accessible entrance. They can help you there. But that's it other than the Oceaneers Club, the main kids area, and the Small World Nursery on board, which are together. Now before we proceed down the deck to those things, I want to point out if you've sailed with Disney Cruise Line in the past, other than the Disney Wish, which is the sister ship of the Disney Treasure, you're probably used to 3 elevator bays and stairwells. But starting with the Disney Wish, continuing here on the Disney Treasure, it's only going to be 2. So we're going to have the forward lobby for the forward elevators and stairs, and the aft lobby for the aft elevators and stairs. So those are the only 2. When you hear me referring to them in those terms, that's what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to kick down the hallway here and let's go check out the entrance to the Oceaneers Club. So down on deck 2, once you come down from the Grand Hall, either via the stairs or the fun slide, you arrive at the entrance to the Oceaneers Club. And I want to point out that there is awesome treasure theming down here with the Jungle Book. We have Shere Khan painted up here in the jungle motif, and even the carpet has the jungle theme with the different monkeys abounding. And the slide actually turns through kind of a jungly area with the plants, and we have Bagheera up there chilling in the tree, and then Mowgli and Baloo down here on the other side. There's also seating outside of the Oceaneers Club area, so keep that in mind if that's useful to you. Now let's go ahead and head in. So right when you come in, you have the check-in desks as well as the fun hand washing stations. You stick the hands right in there and it automatically washes. You have the check-in desks here, and then we'll be able to go in. So it's having an open house right now. That's why we're able to come in and film it, but normally it would be reserved for just the kids. So you see they have all the animation artwork up on the walls here, and the different video boards changing with the different animation drawings. The big video board here in the middle, and the twinkling fiber optic starlights up above. And now we can go either right or left, so let's go ahead and head to the left. Why not? So as we turn left off the main area, first we find some cool Pixar themed bathrooms, definitely worth showing with all that color and stuff going on. But across from that, we find our first themed area, the Star Wars Cargo Bay. So let's head inside here. And I think it kind of speaks for itself. Major immersive theming in the form of Star Wars inside of here. All kinds of buttons and switches to play with, things to toggle, little creatures to check out inside of their little containers and cages. Look, this one's winking at us right there. Big snail looking thing. Got the big table in the back over here. Lots of places to hang out, chill with your friends, play around with the different controls, see what things do, explore, and these little beauties. Now continuing down the hall, we will enter our next themed area, which is the Marvel Superhero Academy. So we go in, we see the Avengers logo right there in the back, and this sick mural painting here right on the wall as you come in. Now in the middle, they have an interactive superhero suit. Where's my super suit? Kind of thing going on where you can actually interact with the screen, and the little mannequin display will kind of show you the different options as you're building your own suit. It looks like they also have a little arts and crafts area here themed after Ant-Man. See the PIM highlighter right over there. And then in the very back of the room, they have interactive games that are using motion censoring and controls. So they have camera that are sensing the motion, and you actually become a superhero and do the different video game challenges, like he's shooting Spider-Man webs over there right now. And you always have to keep your eyes peeled because you never know when there's going to be some nice Easter eggs. Alright, so now we're back at our main area, just past the check-in desk. Again, there's the big video board, so now we're going to head over to the right side. Now we can go right, left, or straight. We're going to go left right now and enter the Walt Disney Imagineering Lab. So let's come in and you can see they have all the different tables and stools set up in here, arts and crafts and different activities. And of course this area is themed after Imagineering, those very creative people who come up with all the amazing things behind Disney Cruise Line, Disney theme parks worldwide, the helmets, all of that stuff, hard hats, and then all these fun things. Oh, that's from Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. Become a galactic hero and get a perfect score. Look at this. Animatronic stuff, lots of theming, lots of little Easter eggs and nods to Imagineering, and even have the clocks set to the times of the Disney theme parks worldwide, which is super cool. So yeah, if you have the opportunity to come in here during an open house or checking in with your kiddos or whatever, come enjoy all these. I talked about Easter eggs. There are tons of them in here. Oh, and even a miniature version of the Grand Hall Atrium statue there. Grand Hall bronze. Oh, if I could steal that, I would. Chelsea would love it. Now, right off of this section, we come into this area, and first we have a little display showing the artwork that's on the back of the ship, the statues that are hanging off the back, and here on the Disney Treasure, it's Peter Pan and Captain Hook. Peter Pan's trying to paint it, Captain Hook's causing trouble there. But then beyond that, we do have these little R&D bays where you can actually kind of design and ride your own, kind of like a roller coaster thing, a little virtual ride there. And then they also have this area, prop shop. Again, I hate to keep saying Easter eggs, but really, if you're a fan of the Disney theme parks, you gotta come check out this area because it's a lot of cool stuff. Then they have more ride simulators over there, some attraction posters from parks around the world, and then a ship model of the Disney Treasure in the case there. Now we'll kick right across from that and enter Mickey and Minnie Captain's Deck. And as you can see, this is just a kind of a giant play area, kind of a little slides and little spinner games and things for the younger ones at heart. And fun Disney Cruise Line pictures there, and can even steer a virtual ship using the ship's wheel and the video board right over there. And now we're entering the Small World Nursery section for those who are really young. And the artwork in here is fantastic because it's in that kind of Mary Blair, It's a Small World style. You see all the different Disney characters and things. And I love that they have this. They had this on the Wish, and they brought it for the Treasure too. The little train that goes around the top. And there's Aladdin and Jasmine, perfect for the Disney Treasure. They have the TV there in the back. You can find Pascal changing colors over there, little activities. And then they have the little sleeping area and cribs set up in a separate section, and also a little soft play area. Even some fun little hopscotch there, and more cool artwork. Mirabelle. Next door to the Captain's Deck area is our last themed area to see here, which is Fairy Tale Hall. So as you can imagine, this is going to be themed after royalty, princes and princesses, of course. And look at the beautiful fiber optic lights up in the ceiling with the Kingdom of Corona sun, and Elsa's snowflake there, and Belle's rose. And look at the beautiful candelabras mounted to the wall there. Little Beauty and the Beast library section with Belle there. Nice little fireplace. Come relax. Then we have an area themed after Arendelle and Frozen with Elsa and Anna there. And they have another interactive video game section with motion sensor, I should say, over in this area. And then we have Rapunzel's area over here, the video board, a little arts and crafts area, which is perfect for Rapunzel. We know that she likes to paint, and you have to be careful and have a keen eye. You never know who you'll find in here. And with that, we are back at the main entrance area, so that is going to do it for the Disney's Oceaneer Club. And that's going to do it for deck 2. Let's head up to deck number 3. Okay, deck number 3 now. Quite a few things to see here, and this is where it can kind of start to get a little confusing with the layout, because it's not one continuous flow. From area to area, we're going to have a little bit of circle action, a little bit of split action, so I'll try to keep you informed as best as I can. So we're starting here at the forward lobby. Now, either way, if we go starboard or port, we're going to pass Preludes and then the entrance to the Walt Disney Theater. So Preludes is going to be like your concession stand, where they'll sell popcorn, souvenir popcorn buckets, drinks, candy, all of those things for an additional cost. Obviously, it's closed right now, but it would be open before showtime. And then you have the entrance to the Walt Disney Theater. At least the main entrance, at least on this deck. We're going to see another entrance on the higher deck up above us, but this is the main level of the Walt Disney Theater. So again, this is your main stage show theater, and this is where you're going to come and see shows. Right now in the Disney Treasure, you're looking at Seize the Adventure, Beauty and the Beast, and the new show, Moana. And they have digital display boards outside the theater telling about what's going on that night, as well as the schedule for the rest of the shows throughout the voyage. But you can also check your app to find that information too. All right, so now we're gonna start kind of that circle area that I was talking about. So there's the forward elevators and stairs right there, entrance to the Walt Disney Theater behind us. We're on the starboard side right now, and we're heading aft. So we're gonna enter a shopping section here, starting with Three Wishes, which has an amazing sign, especially for the Disney treasure. We'll get to why in just a minute. But this is going to be, as you can see, the jewelry store on board. So come get your necklaces, rings, watches, pretty necklace for a pretty lady. And now we will continue on. We'll find the tiled Disney treasure insignia there, and then a store that's labeled Once Upon a Time, but this is actually just connected to Three Wishes. You can go right through there. This is also selling jewelry and bags. This seems to be focusing more on watches, hence the name. And next to that we have Royal Regalia, which is also selling jewelry. So if you want your fine jewelry, this is where you'll come. It's all kind of right here in one shot. Now, if you sailed on the Disney Wish, you probably remember the Bayou area, the little lounge that was themed after the Princess and the Frog. Here on the Disney Treasure, it is the Skipper Society. It's based on the Jungle Cruise. So you can see the stage area there, kind of has like the temple layout and etching. They have the screens on either side, all the flowers and the foliage you find in the jungle throughout the top there. And then even the bar area is themed after one of the Jungle Cruise boats. And you got the name of the boat there, and the little, like the awning there over the top. And then I love these parrot chandeliers they have in these little awnings on either side. So really great. This is a mixed-use space. As you can see right now, they're doing trivia, but they'll also have live music. Of course, the bar in the back serving up drinks. So you just have to check your schedule to see what's going on here at the Skipper Society. Past the Skipper Society and the second entrance to Royal Regalia, we continue on facing aft, and now we find Palace Treasures. And this is, again, they have the kind of the drapes drawn there, but it's just more jewelry. The jewelry continues. Lots of jewelry options. And as we continue walking aft, we will find one more entrance to Palace Treasures right there, but then we will actually enter into the Grand Hall atrium area. A lot of stuff to see here. First of all, these doors on my left, this is where you will actually board the Disney Treasure on boarding day, and typically where you will disembark on the final morning of your cruise. And it's really cool because there's actually a lot of hidden detail here that you won't see when you're boarding, because they're shouting your name and you're excited to go see everything. But there's tons of Aladdin etched artwork here, kind of metal framed artwork. Really cool, so be sure to check out all those details. So as you come in though, they announce your name, you turn, and you'll enter here into the Grand Hall with the magnificent, I'd say Moroccan-inspired chandelier artwork with the chains and the big lantern bulbs. There's a lot of hidden detail in those as well. Be sure to check that out during your cruise. And also a lot of hidden detail down on the carpet below. So you'll see the peacock, the lamp, Abu is an elephant, all kinds of stuff hidden in here. But the main attraction, of course, is the lobby atrium statue here in the Grand Hall. On the Disney Treasure, it is Aladdin and Jasmine riding the magic carpet. And over here towards the forward part of the Grand Hall, you will find the stage area, which is typically open during the day, but they will close it off when they're going to have a performance. So they do little storyteller, kind of like story hour things with the treasure seekers throughout the cruise, so be sure to check out the schedule for that. And they'll have a lot of fun stuff going on here. Characters might meet throughout. Always be sure to look up and check that vestibule area, because you never know when characters are going to pop out of there. And again, continue checking out the theming and the detail on this side, but especially on this side where you can find Abu up there in the painting reaching for one of those oranges, and Raja down here in the beautiful tile mosaic. Better look here at the Grand Hall statue of Aladdin and Jasmine flying on the magic carpet with all of its detail. And next to the statue at the base of the grand staircase, we find the lamp. Okay, back over at the starboard side, right by the embarkation doors. We're gonna turn aft here. We're still making our circle, so don't worry, we're gonna circle back around. But right here, we're going to find the first of our 3 rotational dining venues, 1923, named after the year of the Walt Disney Company's foundation. So, couple things to note here. First, if you're not familiar with rotation dining, that means that you will travel between all of these restaurants each night of your cruise, and your wait staff will actually travel with you. So they'll get to learn what you like, what drinks you like, your allergies, all that kind of stuff, and you'll be seeing them every night. Disney Cruise Line invented that like over 25 years ago, and it continues to this day. So 1923 is the first of those quote-unquote main dining restaurants included with your cruise fare, of course. Second thing to point out with 1923, you see right here it says Roy Disney up above, and if we actually come down over on this side towards the port side, you're gonna see that it says Walt Disney. So you'll want to check on your app to find out if you are on the Walt Disney side or the Roy Disney side, because they are separated and you do need to enter into your respective doorway. Finally, the theming of 1923. Again, it's after the foundation of the Walt Disney Company, so it's kind of got that early Hollywood, fancier upscale feel to it, but it's also going to feature all kinds of artwork and things surrounding animation. So maquettes, paintings, concept art, all that stuff. They have a display out here facing the Grand Hall as well as on the other side. But as you enter the restaurant, you'll see here in this clip, they have all those different kind of paintings and drawings and statues and artwork all throughout the cases surrounding your tables. Okay, we have more to see this way. We're going to put a pause on that right now. We're going to turn and continue our circle here. So now we're over on the port side, and we'll actually find the entrance to the Oceaneers Club. So we saw that from down below. This is where you can either take the stairwell down, or you can take the slide if you're feeling adventurous. Now as we turn and continue back forward on the port side, we will see this little bar. This is actually called the Scat Cat Bar. It's kind of an outpost of the Scat Cat Lounge, which we're about to see in a minute. But you can see the trumpet there. So it's going to be based after jazz and the Aristocats. We're going to see the actual main lounge area in a minute. You can kind of see it through those windows there. But this is kind of just the outpost bar that you can access from the Grand Hall. So here we go, the actual entrance to the Scat Cat Lounge. When we look down on the floor as we enter, not only does it say groovy, it's got the cat paw prints everywhere. Got the silhouette of the cats there, and the doors, the handles for the doors are trumpets, so we can see inside. I absolutely love the neon sign on the back there and the cat paw prints on the piano. So if it wasn't obvious, this is like a jazz lounge. Come in the evening, get your drinks, and then enjoy some live jazz entertainment music. As we continue forward here, they're actually doing a guided tour right now, so I'll have to sneak through. But we're on the other side of the Skipper Society, so you can access it from port or starboard. But as we continue forward here, we'll find the entrance to the Haunted Mansion Lounge. You saw the sign that said it is currently closed, but I did go in the other day and get some shots. So this is a really awesome, super detailed themed lounge based, of course, after the Haunted Mansion. So lots of drinks to have in there, a nice non-alcoholic drink menu as well. This replaces the Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge on the Disney Wish, and it will continue on the Disney Destiny, the next ship in this class. Continuing back forward, we find Treasures Untold, and this does also sell jewelry like we saw on the shops on the other side, over on the starboard side. But in addition to jewelry, they also sell some Disney treasure merchandise, especially maiden voyage stuff. And they have some special Jungle Cruise, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and Haunted Mansion themed merchandise here as well. And you'll know why for the Jungle Cruise and the Haunted Mansion. We've already seen those. And we're going to see the 20,000 Leagues in just a little bit. So continuing forward, another entrance to Treasures Untold. It's just the same store space that continues all along there. And then we find our portside preludes and portside entrance to the Walt Disney Theater. All right, checking back in at our map to get reoriented. So we started here, saw the entrance to the theater and preludes, and we went around like this. So we made this circle here. Now I'm gonna head back into the Grand Hall and show, we saw the entrance to 1923. I just kind of want to point out here that to access the aft lobby and continuing going back on this deck, you actually have to shoot the gap in the middle. Let me show you that, and then we'll continue with the tour. All right, back in the Grand Hall, there's a much better look at the statue and the lamp there, and we turn and head back. Again, the Walt Disney entrance to 1923, the Roy Disney entrance to 1923. If you want to continue heading aft, you actually need to go right in the middle here. You see it says up above, aft stairs and elevators, and you'll actually shoot between those two, not restaurants, it's all the same restaurant, 1923, but the two sides of the restaurant, the Walt and Roy sides. Just head for this cool, dynamic Steamboat Willie art. And at this point, you can either go port side or starboard side. Either way is gonna take you to the same area. And that area is the aft stairs and elevators. So we've kind of completed our forward loop here on deck 3. Now shot the gap back here at the aft part of deck 3, and there's nowhere else to go. This is kind of a dead end space, so we are done with deck 3 and we're gonna head up to deck 4. All right, up on deck 4 now, and we kind of have the same approach as we had on deck 3. We're in the aft section, so kind of off of the Grand Hall, you're gonna have to kind of shoot the gap, but you actually spit out on either side there, and then you come back in the middle here for the most aft section. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come out of the aft lobby elevators right here. We can go port or starboard, doesn't matter. We're gonna wrap around and go down this hallway. So regardless of which side you go, you will find the entrance to Worlds of Marvel. This is our second of our 3 rotational dining venues. Now the various entrance sides will have these cool artwork featuring the different Marvel heroes. And here's a look at this side. So if it wasn't obvious from the name of the restaurant plus the little artworks that we just saw, this restaurant is themed all around Marvel superheroes. You're actually going to have an interactive digital show as you dine throughout the meal, and then you never know which superheroes will actually show up to come and greet you and take pictures. So keep your eyes open and enjoy the dining. Here's a look inside the restaurant itself. Alright, quick stop back at the map just to get reoriented. So again, aft lobby with elevators and stairs, go either side and into the Worlds of Marvel restaurant. And that's the inn when you're heading aft here on deck 4. Now we have a small circle to make here in this area, so we're going to do that now before we continue into the mid-level of the Grand Hall. And they do, of course, have signage up throughout the area to help keep you oriented. Before we proceed forward, though, I want to point out, this is also the outer promenade deck, so you can actually come outside at the various points of this deck, and it will actually be open air here. You'll find shuffleboard, a nice walking area, and you can actually go all the way forward and take the stairs up. And there's not a helipad, but there is an area to walk out to the very bow of the ship. And this is a sight to see. This is very unusual. A Disney Cruise Line ship parked next to a Disney Cruise Line ship. You almost never see that. Hello, Disney Magic. How about this? The original Disney Cruise Line ship parked right next to the newest ship in the fleet. How cool is that? Had to point that out. All right, back to the tour. All right, so we're on the port side, heading forward, starting our little circle area that I was talking about, and the first thing that we will find is the Untangled Salon. It is, of course, the salon area themed after the Rapunzel movie, Tangled. There's their hours of operation. There's Pascal and the glass etching right there, and then you see all the flowers like the Kingdom of Corona, the lanterns, all that good stuff. So you can get nail treatments here, hair treatments here, all that fun jazz inside the Untangled Salon. And if you're feeling so inclined, they also have some bubbly and other drinks on ice. All right, continuing forward here, got this beautiful tile mosaic of Moana, and then this would actually go into the Grand Hall mid-floor. We're gonna pass on that for now. Turn around here and find the Hey Hey Cafe, themed after the chicken from Moana, and they have coffee drinks and alcoholic drinks that you can order here for an additional cost. And it's really cool because they have this little seating area on the outside that actually features some USB and USB-C chargers, as well as hooks to hold your bags and other items. So here at the Hey Hey Cafe, got the little statue of Hey Hey there, and of course up on the sign itself, and in the tile mosaic with his friend Pua. Now we're going to continue over to the starboard side to wrap up our circle. And what we'll find here is the opposite of the Untangled Salon. This is Hook's Barbery. So here are the hours of operation posted on the digital screen, and this is where you can come get a cut, get a shave, and they actually even have a little bar area. They have it kind of, the doors are closed right now, but in the evening there's a little bar area right there, and they'll serve up, what do you call it, like old fashions, or I don't drink, so I don't know all the lingo, but it's like smoky drinks and specialty cocktails and things like that. And then that brings us back to the aft elevator. So we've completed our little loop here. Now we're going to turn and go forward back into the Grand Hall atrium. So the Grand Hall is 3 decks tall. So of course we started down below on deck 3. That is the main deck where the statue and all the stage and all the entertainment is. Now we're up here on deck 4, and you see it also continues there to deck 5. So we have another little circle here to make on deck 4. We're going to swing over here to the port side, past all these beautiful tile mosaics of Aladdin, and we'll find the entrance to guest services. So all these little desks set up here. If you have any questions, any concerns, need to address any issues whatsoever, come and visit guest services. They're open 24/7. Now right next to guest services, you'll see it says Port Adventures there. So these are shore excursions. Disney Cruise Line refers to them as Port Adventures. You should, or you at least are encouraged to purchase these ahead of your cruise so that you get the best price and that it doesn't sell out. There's plenty of availability. But if you need to buy something during your cruise, you can come visit the Port Adventures desk during their hours of operation, which should be posted, yes, right here. We're continuing forward now. Again, we can go back outside to the promenade deck, and there's also a stairwell on either side if you want to shoot down to deck 3. Some really cool tapestry artwork on both sides too. But now we're going to continue forward, and you can see the theme is changing. Everything's getting darker, and that's because we are entering the area of the lower level of Sarabi. Sarabi, named after Simba's mother from The Lion King. And this is a mixed-use space. You can check the activities board out here to see what they have going on. I will say it's a lot of adult-focused stuff, especially later in the day. You can see right there, all of those items are listed 18 plus. But earlier in the day, it can be mixed. It can be trivia, dance party, karaoke, all kinds of stuff. They do have a really cool supper club thing that they do on certain evenings in here. That is for adults only as well. Now we'll actually get a better look when we go up to deck 5 because this is a 2-deck venue, but here's a look at the lower deck with the main stage area. You can see the seats surrounding as well as the TV screens for those who don't have as good of a view. Now, if you've sailed on Disney Cruise Line in the past, but you haven't been on the Disney Wish, you're probably accustomed to one large cinema, one large movie theater on board, usually referred to as the Buena Vista Theater. But starting with the Wish and continuing here with the Treasure, they actually split it into 2 smaller cinemas. The first one we're going to find here is Wonderland, and they'll have all the movies they're showing throughout the cruise posted here in their times, as well as in the app. So, of course, Wonderland, it is themed after Alice in Wonderland. Gotta love the door entrance there, and oh, what a peculiar place. And you're going to have all the artwork as you head in. Be sure to pay particular attention to the Cheshire Cat here, as he will appear and disappear at random. And typically no filming is allowed in the cinemas, but there's nothing being shown right now, so I can show you. Again, the artwork continues, several Cheshire Cat faces along the side there, and then the curtain behind that is the cinema screen. So you can see much smaller than the Buena Vista Theater on the older Disney Cruise Line ships, but again, we'll have 2. We're going to see the other one in just a second. As we exit the Wonderland Cinema, we have a decision. We can continue going forward, or we can cut through the middle here. Let's cut through the middle. And what we're going to find here is Sarabi Snacks. This is an additional kind of concession stand where they sell the specialty themed popcorn buckets. This half box ghost one is amazing. Also the tumblers and souvenir straws, candy, popcorn, all the good stuff for sale here at Sarabi Snacks. Now if we continue passing through, we'll find the entrance to our second cinema, which is the Neverland Cinema. Here we go. This is themed after Peter Pan, of course, and it is going to be laid out pretty much exactly the same as the Wonderland Cinema. It's just going to be themed after Peter Pan. Real quick, I want to point out too is as you enter both theaters, you'll see these booster seats here. So if your child or young one needs a booster seat, feel free to grab one. Now as we exit the Neverland Cinema, if we were to go back aft where we originally came from, we'll have another entrance to Sarabi from here on the starboard side, and then it'll just take us back into the Grand Hall. Of course, we can continue back through the middle where we just saw Sarabi Snacks, or we can turn right and head forward, and we'll see the Neverland Cinema artwork on the wall, and of course you would see the Wonderland Cinema artwork on the port wall. Either way though, you will end up arriving at the upper deck entrance of the Walt Disney Theater. As I mentioned, 2 main decks to enter from. Deck 3 and here on Deck 4. This is the upper level, but the same shows and same schedule that we saw before. Ooh, I thought we had completed deck number 4, but I forgot something. So we're gonna head back aft here, past the Neverland Cinema, and as I mentioned, there's another entrance to Sarabi from here on the starboard side, and then I said you could continue on to the Grand Hall, which is true, but I forgot we hadn't covered the starboard side of Deck 4 of the Grand Hall. So we do have some nice seating areas, porthole windows to get that beautiful view, and then you will find a Disney Vacation Club satellite desk. And I call it a satellite desk because there is a main Disney Vacation Club office area that we'll see in just a little bit, but sometimes they will have representatives out here if you want to discuss Disney Vacation Club with them. We are members ourselves and highly encourage you to do so. Now past that, we will find the entrance to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. There are the hours of operation posted right there. And just like you can find at the Disney theme parks, the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique will transform your young one into a prince, princess, a pirate, whatever they want. Hair, makeup, outfits, all the accoutrement. Of course, this is coming at an additional cost, but it is very popular. So be sure to grab a reservation. Okay. Despite my little snafu there, we actually now have completed Deck 4. You can see it can get a little labyrinthy because there's all these circles and different ways to go. That's why we're doing the tour like this, to help give you that navigational assistance. But with that said, we are done with Deck 4. Let's head up to Deck 5 and let's take the fun way. Normally I transverse the decks at the elevators and stairs, but let's go up the stairwell here in the Grand Hall. As I mentioned, 3 decks tall. So really nice views up here on deck 5 of the Grand Hall. Take in all the detail of the atrium chandelier. And if there is a stage show going on, or if there are characters out on the vestibule, a great spot to get a view of that. Now here on the starboard side of deck 5 of the Grand Hall, it's just a nice elongated seating area. But we're gonna continue heading aft here. We have quite a few things to see here. So number one, you'll see all these digital touchscreens over here on the right. Those are going to be for Shutter's photography. So if you've had any professional photos taken on board, you can tap your Key to the World card or your Disney band and view those here and even purchase them on these kiosks when it's available. Now across from that is that Disney Vacation Club main office area that I was talking about, and they do have their hours of operation posted outside as well. But it's really cool because you can come into this main area and see some different like models. This I believe is of the new tower at the Polynesian at Walt Disney World Resort, and then they also have a model of Riviera Resort at Walt Disney World Resort. And of course the artwork around the TV showing you the different memories you can make with Disney Vacation Club. And then this is one of my favorite features. It wasn't working when I did the tour of the Disney Dream, so I thought I didn't know what it was. I was correct. This one should be working. It was working last night. Come over to this little touchscreen, choose which one you want to learn about. I choose the Villas at Disneyland Hotel. That is one of our home resorts. And then the magic begins. Much like Mirabelle, the door opens, and then you can learn all about it via this virtual doorway, which is really awesome. Now, as we continue heading aft, we will find our second little cafe. Remember, we saw the Hey Hey Cafe on deck 4 in this spot. Here on deck 5, though, it is the Jade Cricket Cafe, themed after the little cricket from Mulan. Look, there he is, in his little hot tub cup of tea, chilling out. Also on the side, and in the artwork over here, beautiful flower metal work all along the sides as well. So they're serving up specialty coffees, alcoholic drinks, things like that, again for an additional cost. And across from that, the little kiosk for Shutters continue. There's also a portrait studio for Shutters here. If you want to go inside and have some professional photos done in a private setting, you can arrange that. There's also a small little gallery if you want to come in and get an idea of the different photos that you can have taken while you're on board. And look, Miguel's guitar, or Hector's guitar, according to that photo, and Jonathan Mullen here. So this is a great example of all the things that they can do on board, and you can also speak to someone when they are here during the hours of operation. A few more kiosks as we continue heading aft, and then we will find the entrance to Edge. This is the Tweens Club on board, and bringing in the theming at the entrance as well. So right when we come in, they get the huge video board there, boombox playing some music, got the little juice bar over here on the side, little tucked up window lounge area with a TV mounted on the wall, with the interactive drawing board and the skateboards mounted to the wall there, the board with the different times and activities, foosball table, and then a bunch of fun stuff. Ooh, Vinylmations, bring those back please. Several TVs set up here, looks like maybe showing different movies and maybe could be set up for video games. You got some over on this side too. Oh look, treasure, that's awesome. This is a really cool themed area. All these TVs, tables with board games back here, the big video board, and the music playing throughout the space. Very nice. Alright, checking back in with our map, we came up the fun stairs here in the Grand Hall, saw DVC, Shutters, Jade Cricket, and the entrance to Edge. So now we're going to skip over here to the port side because you can't continue going aft on the starboard side. You have to scoot over here to the port side. We're going to kick back this way really quick, and then we'll head back and see everything that's forward. So as the signage and the artwork will indicate, we are now entering the area for our third and final rotational dining venue, which is Plaza de Coco. So this, of course, is themed after the movie Coco. It is like you are in Santa Cecilia at night outside in the market. It is incredible theming. The food was fantastic on our first night. We're going to get a different show and a different menu on our last night of the cruise. So you get two different experiences when you dine here. Live mariachi music, all kinds of fun stuff going on. The characters show up. It's a really great time. And this, of course, replaces Arendelle from the Disney Wish. So if you've experienced that, it's the same kind of thing, dinner and a show. And you're going to see here this long themed entrance hallway, just like you saw when you were going into Arendelle, but of course themed for Coco. All right, now we are continuing forward here on the port side of Deck 5, and we'll find the entrance to Mickey's Mainsail. Now this is the main souvenir shop on board, hence the name of Mainsail. Mainsail, get it? They have all kinds of Disney Cruise Line merchandise in here. especially some Disney Vacation Club merchandise and, of course, Disney Treasure merchandise, inaugural merchandise right now. This is where you can come and buy atrium statues, keychains, magnets, t-shirts. I could list it all, but it goes on and on. And the shop itself goes on and on. You can see it continuing here. We're back by the Jade Cricket Cafe, and the shop is still continuing, and you can see through there it keeps continuing. We'll see the final entrance as we enter back into the Grand Hall. Now, of course, we came up the stairwell there on the starboard side of the Grand Hall, which was just the seating area, so now we're gonna wrap around to the port side. And again, Mickey's mainsail, it continues. It just keeps going and going all the way down to here. So again, all your souvenirs, all your merchandise. If you need your stuff for Pirate Night, they even have that in here as well. As we exit the Grand Hall area here on port side of Deck 5, we will find the little art section. So they do have some nice artwork on display, and you will find these two kiosks over here, the Art of Disney On Demand, where you can tap your Key to the World card or your band and view and purchase all the artwork, or at least a lot of the artwork found on board. Continuing forward, we'll see the theming change once again. We're back to those dark, rich colored woods, and that's because we are now at the upper deck area of Sarabi, that area that we saw down below. And you can see it is open air here on the upper deck so that you can look down. They do have a lot of bar rail seating along the perimeter of the drop with some chargers as well. And then they have these nice kind of semicircular booths around the outside perimeter, and they have TVs so you can see what's going on down there since you wouldn't be able to see it normally. And you can see that seating continues all the way around, facing inwards towards the main stage area. Now, across from Sarabi, here over on the port side, we will find the entrance to the Periscope Pub, and this is where 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is coming into play. That is the theming of this pub, and this will kind of function as your sports bar on board. They're going to be showing sports throughout your cruise, whatever is playing. Right now, they just have the kind of the logo, but you can see it's like we're underwater. Look at that. The digital screens up above. It looks like we're in the submarine. All the dark metals, all the lights working in here, and then you do have some porthole windows to look to the outside. Now here's the entrance to the forward elevator bay, but we're going to continue going this way because I need to show the entrance to the Triton Lounge. And as you can see from the digital display board, the Triton Lounge is also a mixed-use space. They'll be doing different kinds of things here. You just need to check the itinerary to see what's going on at various times. And here's a look inside the Triton Lounge. Not a huge space, but it gets the job done. One little minor thing I want to point out here on the starboard side, there's Sarabi right there, Triton Lounge entrance down there, is if we head back towards the Grand Hall, you'll see this that says Royal Studio, which I believe technically is another kind of official portrait studio, but I've seen them also use this space for character greetings or to sign up for different events, so kind of just a mixed-use space that they have open when they need to. And checking back in with our map, of course, we started at the Grand Hall, we did the circle around here, saw Plaza de Coco, came up this way, saw Sarabi Upper Deck, Triton Lounge, Periscope Pub, and now we're going to continue forward. Again, the shipside promenade does continue outside, and you can head up to the actual bow of the ship, but now we're going to head forward and see the entrance to the Senses Spa and the Senses Fitness area. Alright, Deck 5 forward here, off of the forward elevators, we're going to turn the entrance to the Senses Spa. And you can access the outdoor promenade deck area from here too. They have their hours of operation posted on the video board, and then as you proceed in, you will find the check-in desk. You see they have the different things that you can purchase here, different little treatment items and things like that. Then we proceed down the hall, and this is where we'll start finding kind of treatment room areas throughout the back space here. So of course, if you book a Senses Spa treatment, they will escort you to your treatment room, get you all set up, things like that. They do have changing rooms in here for women and men. All right, and I've checked, there's no one in the men's one right now, so just to kind of give you an idea of what it's like, there is a quiet relaxation waiting area here. So you see they have the comfy chairs with the curtains for privacy, and a little drink station here with some tea and honey, things like that. Looks like they might also put some fruit out from time to time. And then you're going to have a fresh towel station, clean towels, an area to put your dirty towels, as well as lockers for you to store your items, and then places to sit, get dressed, get ready, and have a nice vanity space over here. Place for trash, and then they have a restroom, and then this continues on out through this area where you can find the showers. So shower area in here, and then there's also water fountain and a water bottle refill station, and something really cool to point out, the gentle steam room. So as we continue down the hall, we find this kind of floral arrangement, and we go left for the rejuvenation spa, or we can go right for the rainforest and treatment room. So let's go check out the rejuvenation spa really quick. And these are where some of the different treatment rooms are going to be, so a good look at what some of those will look like, and then those just continue on down the hall here. And they also have some treatment suites as well. Here's a look inside one of those. You can see it's much larger. They have the 2 treatment bed areas set up, the nice big day bed, the freshwater shower, and look at this, like a private jacuzzi whirlpool hot tub kind of thing. Look at the ambiance in here. This is awesome. And now we come out the other side, or be down the hallway from where we initially entered, and we will find the entrance to the rainforest area. So this is like the thermal suite area on board Disney Cruise Line ships. You see they have another beverage area right as you come in, also with some chilled towels available. And then we're gonna find our different areas, like we have our heated tile loungers, and a nice shower space there. And these are different kinds of showers. They have different effects and different pressures, different temperatures, things like that. And I really like this area. They had it on the Wish as well. The swinging benches, comfortable benches right over where the water flows over the pebbles and the stones. It's a really neat feature. And here's a great breakdown of what is included with the Rainforest Thermal Experience, all of the different options they have for you to enjoy. And we'll see those different rooms throughout. They have an explanation of what each room is. You go right in and enjoy that. And then they have those tile loungers throughout the space. And now there's this area where you can actually go to Rainforest Outdoor, which I think is a really cool feature. And again, they had this on the Wish. It's where it kind of debuted this outdoor area. So you come out and you have the freshwater shower. You have the hanging day beds around the perimeter, as well as some comfortable lounge chairs, more day beds in the center. And they do have some covers here to provide you relief from the sun or from the rain. And they do have the hot tubs as well. So nice place to unwind and relax and get some fresh air, because it is open air here on the very forward part of the ship. Now around the corner from the exit to the outdoor section, we find another shower and the entrance to the Laconium room. And then this kind of exits, usually a crew member only area, but it goes back to more treatment rooms back there. And then I have to give a special point out to my favorite room, the Frigidarium. I wish every spa had this, because I love cold. Look at that. Look at that ice right there. You can sit on some ice, enjoy some ice. It's nice and cold here. You know what? I'm giving up on the tour. I'm just gonna stay in here. See ya. All right, now we will kick over from the starboard, or excuse me, from the port side over to the starboard side, and you can see that this is the entrance to the Senses Fitness area. And again, video board with the hours of operation posted right as you come in. And then boom, right into the fitness area. Of course, you have your drink station, your towel station, right as you come in. And then all of your machines here, treadmills, looking out the big porthole windows. They even have a consultation area tucked up in the back. And you get the nice views out the starboard side of the ship. And then they have further areas in the back here, more machines, resistance machines. And then they also have a cycle room, so they will offer cycle classes there. It says check the class schedule, so you want to check with the staff on board, the crew, or check your navigator app to see when those are going to be offered. Have a free weights section, dumbbell section over here, medicine balls, kettlebells, all kinds of machines, and it just keeps going and going and going. In the back, rower, that's my favorite right there. And then this is like it appears to be an area for classes that they might have, or if you just want to come in and do some yoga or stretches, because they do have the mats and the exercise balls in here as well. All right, and with the Senses Spa and Fitness areas wrapped up, we are done with deck number 5. Going to 6. And now we've arrived to my favorite portion of doing these ship tours, the decks that are just staterooms. So it's really easy because there's nothing to see here. So deck 6, just staterooms. Let's go to 7. Deck number 7, also just staterooms. Going to 8. Deck number 8, mostly just staterooms. There is the Fairy Tale Fresh laundry, which normally I wouldn't bother with, but I've seen the laundry facilities on the Disney Wish. I'm sure it's very similar here on the Disney Treasure. They're actually worth a peek, so let me show you really quick. I mean, first of all, they theme the laundry room because, of course, why wouldn't they? So this is clearly themed after the forest, as the name suggests, with Bambi characters. And you can purchase your soaps and detergent, all that kind of stuff. And they have the washers and dryers throughout that you can pay to use. They even have folding stations ironing stations, and as you can see, it is quite expansive. It's actually a really large laundry room area. So if you need to get some laundry done on your cruise, this is the place. I don't think this is the only one. I believe they have a couple other ones, but just to give you an idea. And with that checked off, we're going to deck 9. Deck number 9, also just staterooms. Let's head to 10. Deck number 10 is also just staterooms, but that's gonna be the end of this run. So let's get back up to 11 and start the fun again. All right, deck number 11 now. We are at the forward lobby, and as you can see, the forward area, deck 11, is all just staterooms. This is actually where we're staying. So if you wanna see what a stateroom is like in this area, be sure to check out the video of our full stateroom tour. But now we're gonna head outside, we're gonna head aft and actually enter a food area and then the main pool deck area. So right as we come outside, we find Mickey and Friends Festival of Foods. This is a casual quick serve area made up of various little stations serving different cuisines, starting right here in the middle with Mickey's Smokestack Barbecue, which will have different barbecue things, go figure. Sweet potato fries upon request. They have jalapeno cornbread, dill pickle, corn and pepper salsa. They have coleslaw, pasta salad, macaroni and cheese, collard greens, roast chicken, smoked kielbasa sausage, pork ribs, and barbecue pulled pork. And they also have a carving station with some smoked brisket. Now there are going to be various booths on both sides. Over here on the starboard side, we'll start and then we'll kick back over to the port side. So here on the starboard side, we will find Goofy's Grill, and this is where you're gonna find hamburgers, cheeseburgers, plant-based Impossible burgers, all beef hot dogs, plant-based sausage, grilled bratwurst, and crispy chicken tenders, fries upon request. Condiment stations will be located throughout and will be based on the various cuisines next to what they are located at. Next up, we'll find Minnie's Delights, and this is your soft serve ice cream station on board. This is, all of these foods actually at the Festival of Foods are included with your cruise fare, so this is where you'll come and get your soft serve as well as some fresh fruits. Now the final little booth on this side is actually technically not part of the Festival of Foods. It's called the Lookout, and this is just a bar where you can get specialty coffees, sodas, alcoholic drinks at an additional cost. If you want the sodas that are included with your Disney Cruise Line fare, you need to use these self-service fountains located here on the pool deck, both starboard and port side, or if you're dining in a restaurant and they bring it to you, that is included. But if you get soda from a bar, like if it comes in a can, that is gonna come at an additional cost. Back in the middle at Mickey's Smokestack Barbecue, we're now gonna head over to the port side. And our first booth is Daisy's Pizza Pies. As the name would suggest, they are serving up pizza here. Prosciutto, 4 cheese, pepperoni, margarita, and plant-based sausage, all on the menu. And last but certainly not least, in fact, probably my favorite of the options is Donald's Cantina, and this is where you can build your own burrito, taco, or bowl. They have chicken, they have beef, they have pork, they have all the different toppings, different kinds of rice, tons of great stuff in there. And again, all of this included with your cruise fare. Now, as we continue heading aft here on the pool deck area, again, the self-service drink station included with your cruise fare, having all the Coke products. They also have hot chocolate, tea, coffee, decaf and regular, all for you to help yourself there too. And then you'll find additional bar spaces located throughout the pool deck. Those, of course, are coming at an additional cost. And now we find our main pool deck area, but I like to get the bird's eye view, so let's head up so we can get the overlay. All right, popped up here on deck 12 to get the bird's eye view, and this is a kind of a continuation of the pool deck anyway. So first of all, we're gonna have funnel vision. The large Jumbotron on the backside of the forward funnel there will show various Disney movies throughout the cruise. If they're having live entertainment out here, like the Sail Away Party or the Pirate Party, that'll be used for that. They'll sometimes show live sports. They had a football game on last night, all kinds of stuff there up on funnel vision. And then of course you have this pool area here at the forward part, which actually can cover up when they are doing live entertainment to be used as a stage. And then you're gonna find all of your lounge chairs spread throughout the middle, and then the pool section towards the back side, which I love because they did a tiered area. You have the larger one down there at the bottom in the middle, and then you have 2 smaller ones with the waterfalls in the middle section, and then the 2 smaller ones up at the top of either side. Those do not have waterfalls, but nice pool area, open to all ages throughout here. And then you're gonna have tables and chairs all along the perimeter with the floor-to-ceiling windows, both on the starboard and the port sides. Now, as we exit the pool deck area and continue heading aft, we can be on either the starboard or port side. Either way, we are going to kick inside to the same area. And before we go in, here's a better look at those tables and chairs and the floor-to-ceiling windows that I mentioned. But you are getting the fresh air. You see it's open air there, and of course open air back at the pool deck, and you typically get a flowing breeze throughout the area. Now, as we head inside here over on the port side, we'll find the entrance to Dory's Forget-Me-Nots. This is a small satellite store that offers a lot of the same merchandise you'd find in the main stores that we saw below. T-shirts, bags, hats, all that good stuff. But you will often find some different design t-shirts that you may not see in those areas. And of course, sundry and pool items like sunscreen or little swimsuits, things like that, since we're next to the pool deck. Now as we continue inside, we see the hanging flower pots there up above, and then we can turn and head into the Marceline Market, which is the name for the buffet on board. We'll get to that in just a second. I want to show that you can actually continue through here in the middle, and you'll see Marceline Market there as well, because you can actually access it from either side, port or starboard. If you come up here in the aft elevators on deck 11 or the stairs, this is where you will land. But I want to show you one thing over here on the starboard side before we show the buffet, and that is Jumbo's Sweets, themed after Zootopia. So again, themed after Zootopia, they have all kinds of specialty flavored ice creams, gelatos, macarons, cookies, all different kind of things in there, candy for sale. All of these do come at an additional cost, so none of this is included with your cruise fare. They do give out samples though, and I encourage you to go in, even if you're not interested in purchasing something, and just check out all the theming inside, like Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde sitting there eating their ice cream, and these little, I don't know, what are they, mice? Rodents, hamsters, whatever they are. They have their little tunnel there, and even their little secret door to enter Jumbo Sweets. Okay, with that covered, we can now enter the Marceline Market, cooking with character. Again, this is the main buffet on board, continues over from the Disney Wish. It was named the same there. It's named after the town in Missouri where Walt Disney grew up. Not where he was born, that was in Chicago, but his childhood town. And I like this little map here because it shows you the different areas and the different characters that are inspiring all these foods. So as you come in on the starboard or port side, of course, you will find the hand washing station. And this is where you'll begin your outer perimeter of the buffet. Now there is this area here in the middle, which does have some additional seating, and they also have a bar there centrally located. As we continue into the main buffet area though, what we're gonna find, like most cruise ship buffets, is that you're gonna have seating on the outer perimeter with the floor to ceiling windows looking out the ocean or your port, wherever you're at, and then all of your food service stations are going to be located on the inside. Now something interesting here with the Marceline Market as compared to cabanas, the buffets on the older Disney Cruise Line ships, is that most stations are not going to be self-serve. You can see everything's behind glass. The crew will actually serve you at most of these. There are a few exceptions where you can grab your own stuff, but like here at the kids counter or the main entree areas, the crew will actually serve you. And you'll also find drink stations located throughout, again with the Coca-Cola products, juice, coffee, tea. This is all included with your cruise fare. Food service stations and seating continue throughout, and you'll find a mirror image over on the port side as well. But as we arrive to the back, you'll actually find some doors that open and you can come out to an outdoor seating section, and you can see there is an overhang, so the tables on the inside will remain covered, free from sun or rain. Tables on the outside, it depends where you're at. But if you are actually sailing and in motion, you'll get the beautiful wake view behind. We are in port right now, so we're just going to get a look at the port here, but it's great to have an outdoor seating option. And the buffet just continues on around. Same thing that we saw over on the starboard side, we will find on the port side. Once again, reorienting with our map, all staterooms in the forward section. When we came outside, we saw the Festival of Foods on both sides, the lookout bar, the main pool area, Dory's Forget-Me-Not store on this side, Jumbo Sweets, the additional cost, ice cream and candy and all that stuff over on that side, and then the Marceline Market buffet all around the back. So with that covered, we're done with deck 11 and we're going up to 12. Now to do that, I actually have something interesting to point out here. We're at the aft elevators, and you can see this says decks 1 through 11, as does this one. But if we come to these 4 elevators in the back, it says decks 1 through 12. So if you need to get up to 12 via an elevator, you'll want to come hit the buttons over here for these last 4 elevators. I'm actually going to show you a different way up. So back by Jumbo Suite in the entrance to Marceline Market, we kind of kicked over there to go into the buffet, but now we're going to go up this illuminated stairwell. You can see it says up to deck 12, so let's take that up right now. And as we make a 180 at the top of the stairs, we find the entrance to Vibe. This is the Teens Club on board. So let's head in and take a look around. Got nice floor-to-ceiling windows, really cool artwork in here. Obviously, a lot of places to chill out, lounge, play some games, do some activities. You got the TVs with the sound bars all the way around. And then the big screen there in the middle. It continues on through to the other side. So then in this section we have the foosball table. Another, looks like, viewing area or gaming area. and then a juice bar area here in the back as well. Now next to Vibe, you'll see this little doorway that's located the Hideaway. I think this is technically just kind of part of Vibe. I think you can access it from the main area. It's just kind of an additional space. As you can see, there's nothing listed for upcoming activities and events. So I think it's kind of designated in case they want to do something there. But anyway, this is where it's at. Now next to that, we will find the entrance to Hero Zone. If you've sailed on Royal Caribbean's Quantum class, this is kind of like the Seaplex, if you're familiar with that. You see right now, they've got the bags or the cornhole set up here. Got the basketball set up over on that side. It's just kind of a mixed-use space. They even have some ping pong tables over here, water bottle refill, and water fountain station, floor-to-ceiling windows over there on the outside. And then there's an upper deck. And you see there's a big screen right there that will actually show live sports at various points throughout your cruise if it applies. And on certain days, they will set up a huge, inflatable, Incredibles-themed obstacle course in here, included with your cruise fare. All of this is, actually. And you can see on the upper deck there, they've got some foosball tables, some games, some different lounge areas, continuing all the way around the perimeter here in the Hero Zone. Outside the Hero Zone, we see our stairwell back down that we took up, and of course the entrance back into Vibe. But if you actually turn here, you'll see these glass doors, which you can go through, and this will take you to the Deck 12 elevator bay section, where those 4 elevators that we saw below come up. And if we look at our carpet here, we see it says Vibe, Hideaway, and Hero Zone over to the left, which is the starboard side, because we're facing aft right now. But over here on the right, or the port side, we see it says The Rose. Now this is going to be made up of an adults-only dining and bar section, The Rose being the bar, Palo Steakhouse, and Enchante being adults-only specialty dining that come at an additional cost. And of course, all themed after Beauty and the Beast. Got the mural there, and then the roses on the doors. And as we come in, we'll start seeing some of our friends from Beauty and the Beast on the portraits, welcoming us in. Even the Beast himself, looking quite dapper and friendly at this moment. And then we'll see the Rose, but not the Rose, because this one's gold. So that's not the Rose, but the Rose in terms of the name of the bar up here. Beautiful floor-to-ceiling windows. You can get a great view out. Tons of seating throughout the space. And then we have the actual bar section here in the middle with, of course, roses. What else to help decorate it out? Now, as we come to the end here, we will find the entrance to Palo Steakhouse. Now, Palo has been the adults-only dining area on Disney Cruise Line since its inception. It's Italian themed. They do offer brunches on usually sea days and dinner every night of the cruise. Again, an additional cost, and again, adults only. Here, starting with the Wish, now on the Treasure, we have Palo Steakhouse themed after Cogsworth. So it's going to have still some of your Italian favorites, but also feature some really nice cuts of beef. Now next to that, we'll find the entrance to Enchante, which is another specialty dining venue. This one themed after Lumiere, of course. Now this will offer dinner. I don't remember if they have brunches or not, but I do know they have a specialty dessert tasting, which we did on the Disney Wish, and it was excellent. Actually, highly recommend that. I didn't consider myself a big dessert person, but it was fantastic. And then, of course, like I mentioned, you do have this is more of an upscale dinner. So kind of like the counterpart to Remy. If you've sailed on the Disney Dream or Disney Fantasy, Remy was opposite of Palo. It's kind of the same concept here. And we head inside through the tunnel. Be sure to say hello to your host, Lumiere, hanging out here on the right side. And then we arrive to the actual main restaurant area itself. They have the wine stored over here, and the beautiful tables adorned with the gold and the roses, floor-to-ceiling windows. They can close the blinds if they want to, but they can open them up to give you the view as well, and then it just continues all throughout this area. All right, back at our map here, we are at the aft lobby for the elevators. So of course we saw Vibe and Hideaway Teens areas, Hero Zone, then we came back out here and went through the Rose, saw Palo and Enchante. So that whole aft section for both the teens and adults we've covered. Now we're gonna turn and head to the outside section of Deck 12, kind of the upper deck area of the pool deck. Oh, it doesn't open, but wait, it does. So right when we come outside, we see we're back at the pool deck area where we already kind of went over it with the tiered pool areas along the back side. Funnel vision up there at the front. Now, there's a lot of stuff to access up above us, and technically it is deck 13, but this is actually where you will access it. So I want to go ahead and cover these two things. Let's go up on this side, and you'll see the sign here says, this area reserved for guests 18 and older. This is the adults only kind of quiet cove pool area up on the starboard side. So you see they have sun loungers and day beds throughout this area, and we're going to actually continue along the starboard side in just a minute. But first, I want to turn back over here to the port side and show you the entrance to Aqua Mouse. Now, if you're actually riding Aqua Mouse, you'll access it from the stairs down below there. You can see they have the hours of operation and the wait time posted there. So Aqua Mouse is a water coaster on board. Again, featured on the Disney Wish, that's where it debuted. Now here on the Disney Treasure, featuring an all-new cartoon, an all-new animated Mickey and Minnie short themed around treasure. So as you go up on your tube on the water slide, there'll be screens all throughout that tunnel showing you the cartoon. Then you'll actually go through the forward funnel, wrap around, come outside, open it. Oh, there goes the tube right there. And then come through the clear section. So again, getting that water coaster action mixed in with the cartoon shorts and theming of an actual theme park ride. A ton of fun and included with your cruise fare. Before we go though, let me show you the rules and regulations of the Aqua Mouse. So if you're not meeting the minimum height requirement, 42 inches, which they do have the measurement there, you cannot ride. If you're under 7 years of age, you must be accompanied by someone 14 years of age or older. And to ride alone, you must be at least 48 inches tall, which we can see there. So it's a single or double tube, unless it's high winds, like right now, in which they will only do double riders due to the high winds. No rivets, buckles, or exposed metal on your clothing. No loose articles such as sunglasses, cell phones, and cameras. You cannot take those on with you. So I want to point out, they do have these little cubbies back here so you can store your items while you ride. Now we see the sign there says Cove Cafe and Bar. So again, as I mentioned, starboard side, we're still in that adults only area now. We will find a hot tub located back here, additional loungers and chairs, and we're going to continue all the way back. So sun loungers and even rocking chairs along the back side here. And then we will find the Quiet Cove bench pool and panorama pool areas. So the bench pool is kind of just a built-in bench. It's curved along this little shallow wading pool here. The panorama pool is an infinity style pool right up against the back glass aft view. So again, if you're sailing, beautiful wake views from that pool, or you can take in the port if you are docked for the day. There's another bench pool over on that side, tables and chairs in the middle, and then we're going to have the bar, the actual Cove bar, located here in the middle. That was the Cove bar, but as you can see, this sign here says Cove Cafe this way. So if we continue wrapping around over here to the port side, we'll find more lounge chairs and rocking chairs, and then we'll find the glass circular entrance to the Cove Cafe. So this is still an adults only area. This is going to be a specialty coffee bar. You can come and purchase additional drinks inside, and this is going to be themed after Moana. It's going to have some nice floor-to-ceiling windows to take in the view as well. Now I want to point out, you cannot really continue forward here on the port side. You can for a little bit, where you'll find additional rocking chairs and lounge chairs, but then you're going to hit a dead end because that's the entrance to the Aqua Mouse. So right off the pool and bar area, if we turn, we'll actually see a little stairwell here, and it's not really labeled as anything, but if we come up, we'll actually find additional lounge space with chairs throughout. Now I thought I remembered this being the smoking section on board. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I was going to say on the Disney Wish. Now I see them, the big ashtrays over here. So over here on the port side is more of the designated smoking section, but all throughout here, open air, all around you, get in some great views and additional lounge space up here, up this little stairwell that's not really labeled as anything. And as with most, if not all, sections that are only accessible via stairs, there is an accessible chairlift there. All right, so we've now covered this upper area that we access from deck 12, so we're ready to head back down the stairs and continue forward with the upper pool deck and the rest of deck 12. All right, to continue forward on deck 12, again, we can go port side or we can go starboard side, pretty much the same thing either way, just gonna be a lot of sun loungers spread throughout the deck area. All right, and as we head past the forward funnel, we will pick back up on the fun of deck 12, starting with Wheezy's Freezies. This whole area is going to be themed after Toy Story. We have Wheezy's Freezies here. First of all, I love the Etch-a-Sketch menu there. So as the name would suggest, they're serving up frozen drinks here. You can even get Dole Whip, just like you would find in the parks. Chell says it's actually better on board here, and you can get that with rum if you would choose so, and they have other drinks available for purchase as well as the souvenir cups. Now behind that, we'll find the little Toy Story splash zone. This is for little ones to come in and splash and play around, all kinds of little bubblers and jets and streams and spray things themed after Toy Story. even little slides, and of course it's the soft, safe padding down on the floor below. And the sign does label this as a facility for use by children up to 6 years old, and you must have adult supervision at all times. And the splash zone continues even over here on the port side with the awesome Pizza Planet rocket slide. And then we'll turn around and we'll find Trixie's Falls. This is a little pool. Children under 12 must have adult supervision, but other than that, it's pretty much a standard pool area. It's got the little bubbler in the middle and the nice little curtain waterfall effect with the built-in bench on the back side. Next to that, we will find the entrance to Slidosaurus Rex. This is the other water slide on board, not the Aqua Mouse, of course, but just the standard water slide. Wait time posted here. You must be at least 38 inches to ride, and it is only one person at a time. Standard body slide rules apply. So just follow Rex's paw prints when you want to board. You can actually store your items in the cubby there, and then just keep following the paw prints and the sign that says "Fun This Way." When the slide is open and operating, you'll go through the door there, board in the funnel, and actually take the slide on from there. It'll wrap around and splash down back here. And next to the Toy Story splash zone, you'll see the lounge chairs down here, and it actually continues in a tiered effect up the next half deck and then half deck beyond that. And there's a whole nother area up top there that we'll get to in a little bit, but we're gonna head inside right now. So here at our map for deck 12, we of course saw the adults area, the teens area, then we came outside the upper deck of the pool area, saw the slide and the splash zone, Wheezies, Freezies, and all that. Here at the forward part of deck 12 is just staterooms, except for the concierge lounge. Now, I'll show you the entrance to that. I do not have access to it, but we will go and see at least what it looks like from the outside. Now, if you're curious, I did have access to this on board the Disney Wish. It should be very, very similar, so you can check out our ship tour there if you want to get an idea of what it's like. So as we proceed down the hallway here, we have the digital display showing the hours for the concierge lounge, as well as different activities and our port times and all that good stuff. And then we continue forward. We got the Simba carpeting there, and then there's the sign right there. This is concierge lounge. So you tap and hold your key to the world card or your Disney band to access the lounge space. And just real quick, I wanted to point out that over here on the starboard side, same thing. There's our digital display, and then there's our area to tap the sign, and then you can enter right there. You can see the different, there's the stairwell that goes up to the upper deck, the little check-in desk area there, the lounge space, and the bar and food service space with the outdoor seating section in the back. You can kind of see through the window there. There we go. And with that, we have covered deck 12. Now, a couple of things to point out before we move on. Number one, Disney Cruise Line's not superstitious, so there is a deck 13. Number two, we've actually covered deck 13 and deck 14 of the back section, of the aft section. The mid section stops with the pool deck, except for the concierge suite in the forward funnel, which we don't have access to. You only have access to it if you're staying in that suite. So nothing to see there. So from here on out, we're actually just going to continue up on this forward section. There's just a few more things to see. So let's head up to deck 13. All right, deck 13. Once again, we have covered the section in the aft, so we don't need to do anything there. Forward section is mostly just staterooms again, but also access to the concierge sun deck, which we don't really can't get to. I will walk down to the end of the hall there to kind of show you the entrance to that though. Oh, and this is cool. I didn't realize they would have the door labeled, but the Bagheera Royal Suite over here on the starboard side, and over on the port side, I believe it's the Raja Royal Suite. So that's really cool. And then here we go. Here's our upper deck entrance to the concierge lounge. Again, the area for you to tap, head inside, and walk around to the upper deck area. All right, so once again, that's really all that's there to see in the forward section. Only really applies if you're staying in a concierge level suite or stateroom. So with that said, we are done with deck 13. Let's head up to our final section, our final deck, deck 14. And our map for deck 14 pretty much explains it all. Nothing to see there, nothing to see there. Here at the forward section, just a couple tiny things to see. So once you come up the stairs or the elevators, you have no choice but to exit over here on the port side. Once you come outside, you'll be on a sun deck area. You can go forward. Let's turn around and head aft really quick. There's another smoking section here. See the ashtrays put out. So if you're looking for that, deck 14, port side, they have lounge chairs, day beds, and little small swivel chairs and tables there. Then we're gonna find some bar stool and bar rail seating, because right along here is Currents, the bar that you can come and get some drinks at, sit outside, enjoy some heavy winds right now, and actually get a look across at the forward funnel where that funnel suite is, and look down below at the Toy Story Splash Play area. Lounge chairs, can day beds continue on throughout over here on the starboard side, just no smoking. That is reserved for the port side, as you can see by that sign there. Now we're coming back around and heading forward. Same thing that we saw over on the port side, just a stretch here of lounge chairs. And then as we get all the way forward, we will find a little, I won't say a secret, because actually a lot of people like it, but you see the free life jackets there to use, lounge chairs throughout. This is the Chip and Dale pool area, and this is for all guests. If you're under 12, you must have adult supervision, but any age can use it. And they do have the built-in bench there, and I think it typically does the waterfall effect. The pool is closed right now. You can see they have the deeper section here along the front, and you're at the very forward part of the ship. Now, one thing I'll point out is that if you see up there that little Mickey section, those are actually the horns of the ship. So if you're up here when the horns actually sound, it is incredibly loud. So be prepared for that. Usually the lifeguard on duty will warn you, but right now there isn't anyone, so you might get caught off guard. They do have freshwater showers on either side of the pool as well. Now in front of the pool area, we do have some lounge chairs under cover, and then you can go around the windscreen here and look out to the very forward part of the ship. And actually we can look down into the concierge sun deck that we couldn't access. So there it is. There's the concierge lounge, sun deck, and pool area down there below. So we're getting a bird's eye view of it. But yes, we can see straight out forward. So if you're sailing, you'd have the horizon right in front of you, or here in port, you can get a great view as well. Well, there you have it, friends. That is our tour of the Disney Treasure. Again, the newest ship in the Disney Cruise Line fleet. We hope you enjoyed it. We are sure having a great time on board. We think you might as well. Be sure to check out our full Disney Treasure playlist to see all of our daily videos and the room tour video as well. And if you're interested in coming on board the Disney Treasure or any other fantastic Disney vessel, like the Disney Magic parked right over there, we can help make that happen. We are travel agents. Our services are completely free to you. We partner directly with Disney Cruise Line. We are authorized Disney vacation planners, so please feel free to reach out via that travel agent information. You can find it in the description of this video. If you've recently booked your Disney cruise with the past 30 days and you're not paid in full, you can transfer your booking to our agency. That's also free of charge, and then we'll be able to assist you the rest of the way. So either way, we hope we'll hear from you soon. Once again, I want to thank you for joining me for today's video, but I'm signing off, and we'll see you next time. Happy travels!